Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Coram and Ken Shreve here with a breakdown of the action in today's session, Wednesday, August 21st, where we saw green on the screens for the major indexes today after the release of the latest Fed minutes, Ken, and we have Jerome Powell coming up on Friday speaking at Jackson Hole.
Yeah, probably no real surprises in the Fed minutes. Most committee members feeling more and more comfortable about the first rate cut coming in September. But another decent day of green, a lot of green on the screen, like you said, Ali. So let's take a look at Procept Biorobotics, PRCT, kind of a mouthful. They got some FDA clearance today. Also want to take a look at AppLovin, APP, in the enterprise software group. And finally, BIRK stock reporting earnings next week, holding near highs and looking pretty good.
All right, sounds like a plan, Ken. We'll get to those stocks, but first let's analyze the major indexes. The NASDAQ today taking the lead in terms of the major three indexes, up 0.6%, followed by the S&P 500, up 0.4%, while the Dow lagged a little bit, but still in the green, up 0.1% or so by session's end. But the Russell 2000 took the lead today with a gain of 1.2%. So circling back to the NASDAQ, we're getting quite close to that 18,000 level, Ken, once again.
Yeah, there's been a tremendous rally off lows for the Nasdaq and a lot of individual stocks. But yeah, that round number of 18,000, we'll see if it's a tough nut to crack for the Nasdaq or not. We again had the Fed minutes came out today. Most committee members feeling comfortable about the first rate cut coming in September. There was a time not that long ago when the market was thinking, well, maybe it could be 50 basis points in September, but now it's back towards thinking it'll be 25 basis points, but kind of a ho-hum reaction by the market. But we do have a big speech at Jackson Hole by Jerome Powell on Friday. That's going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll see. The Nasdaq could just power right through this 18,000 level, or it could just start to drift lower in light volume, which would be pretty good price action as well. Just give that index a little time to digest these really strong gains over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we get. Let's also take a look at the S&P 500. We know a while back it got back above that key 5,500 level that we've been eyeing. But now, next stop, it looks like all-time highs. Is that a magnet potentially, Ken?
It really is. I mean, this is the leading index right now. You see that gap above the 5,500 level. That's when the market had the follow through day last week, and S&P 500 getting very close to that all-time high. So the S&P is not dealing with a round number like the Nasdaq is, but just like the Nasdaq may consolidate below this 18,000 level, maybe the S&P is going to bump up against that recent high of is that 56 and change, and maybe start to drift lower as well, maybe form a little handle here. So wouldn't be surprised to see that. But listen, this market uptrend still looks quite strong.
Okay, and let's take a look at the Dow. Your thoughts on blue chips also getting closer to recent highs.
Yeah, and wouldn't be surprised to see just a little bit of a pullback here. You can see that trend lines trying to break out of a downtrend here. Nice rally for blue chips as well, but approaching some recent highs here where you could see the index drift lower. I think that would probably be ideal price action because a lot of people are just saying, boy, it's been such a powerful rally off lows. Normally it takes some time to digest those gains, so maybe the Dow will do the same, just like the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. We'll have to see. Something tells me that Friday will be a catalyst one way or another.
Okay, so let's now go over to the Russell 2000. So this is 0 RUS. What do you make of the outsized gain today here, Ken?
Well, I mean, listen, it was outperforming for a while. I had a really bad break of support. Came down to that 2,000 level, found support. It's rallied with the other indexes. It's the laggard index at this point. So really kind of keeping my attention focused now on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Good to see the Russell 2000 coming back. Not surprising in this kind of low interest rate environment where bond yields have stopped going up. So typically that can be good for small caps. Lagging index at this point, but holding above all of its moving averages. So in a nice rally along with the rest of the market here.
Yep. Okay, let's move on and take a look at XHB, the home builders. We had earnings out today from Toll Brothers, ticker TOL there, and the XHB home builder ETF up 2.9% today.
Yeah, home builders were a real nice pocket of strength on IBD Live. We were talking about earnings from Toll Brothers. It didn't seem like a super blowout quarter to me, but the guidance was pretty good. Deliveries were pretty good. So Toll Brothers certainly had a good day in the home building group. We added XHB to the leaders list last week. We also have Pulte Group, PHM. So good day for the home builders today, and good day for retailers as well, with the strong earnings report from Target and TJX. So amid a lot of worries about the economy not that long ago, you've got home builders outperforming. You've got some retailer stocks that are really starting to move well. So this narrative of maybe a soft landing for the economy could very well play out here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at PRCT. We talked about this breakout this morning on IABD Live for Procept Biorobotics, and the medical systems equipment group kept rallying strongly throughout the day here, Ken, closing up over 28%, a powerful breakout from this double bottom base.
Yeah, I mean, who knew that Intuitive Surgical had competition? But Procept, smaller company, and obviously Intuitive Surgical, so sort of the 800-pound gorilla in the robotic, surgery space. Obviously, been a long time winner. But PRCT, smaller company, but I think this one deserves a close look. They got FDA clearance for a next generation robotic surgical system. They do a lot of work in urology, just like Intuitive Surgical. Slightly different system, so they are a differentiator. But this one, you've got the top line growth. They're not profitable yet, but when you see the revenue growth as explosive as it's been in recent quarters, you have to think that profitability is probably not too far away. So very good revenue growth here, and very positive response to this FDA clearance. And again, just a newer company that still could be in the early stages of a move here. And you've got the fundamentals, even though it's, like I said, not profitable, you do have that big revenue growth that's impressive.
Absolutely. Okay, so in terms of how to play this, Ken, this morning it was still in that buy zone. Now pretty stretched here.
It is stretched. Like I said, typically like to watch see how a stock handles the gap up. This gain held for most of the day, so there was strong buying demand throughout the session. So what I would do here is just put this one on the watch list and wait for an alternate entry. When you get a move this powerful, and there probably was some short covering today, because you look at the days to cover ratio for PRCT. Yeah, 8.9 days. That's based on the stock's average daily volume and how many shares are held short. So it would take 8.9 days based on the stock's average daily volume to cover the full short position. So probably some short covering here, but what we want to see is just some tight sideways trading near highs. Maybe it's a 3 weeks tight pattern, which just shows the stock is stubborn about giving back gains. But perfect stock for the watch list at this point. Just got to be patient and wait for a new entry.
Yeah, I mean, totally different business industry here. But look at Axon. We had a powerful breakout. This was on earnings. So a little bit different from that regard, but up 18% on the day. And there you go. Nice and tight, holding up. So we'll have to see if PRCT can do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And with again with Procept, ideally, I'd like to like to see it stay below its high from today, and just kind of and move
Right.
sideways. I mean, it
Some
could,
movement
like,
higher.
Axon was a gap up that worked very well, but then it just kind of kept creeping into new high ground. Never really gave a good opportunity to buy. But if Procept
Mm,
can just kind of stay below the high of today and move sideways, I think you could easily see
yeah.
another entry here.
Yeah, that would be even better. Okay, let's take a look at APP. This is AppLovin in the enterprise software group. Seems like traders are loving this one lately. The stock up 5% today, and it looks like it might be a new closing high for the stock. All right, not a new all-time closing high, but definitely a 52-week plus closing high here for the stock as it rebounds powerfully from that test of the 40-week line 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, very profitable company here with good top line growth. They operate a mobile app marketing platform. So basically, app developers use a lot of tools from AppLovin to help them market and monetize their apps. We know that applications on the iPhone are just a huge business. So this is a niche market that AppLovin is doing very well in. Another example of a stock. I mean, here this was a stock that was $60 not that long ago, and now it's all the way up to 91. So as it approaches that recent high, would like to see it just kind of consolidate a little bit. It could just shoot right into new high ground. It's not that far, but again, like to see a little bit of a pullback here to digest some of these gains. But still, definitely a name to watch in the enterprise software group. There's been a lot of damage in this group among a lot of former leaders, but AppLovin is still has great potential. And if you look at the weekly chart here, you're not dealing with a stock that's in a kind of a late stage move. Still seems like it could be early in a move here. And again, just being in this mobile app marketing area just seems like a business that's going to continue to grow nicely.
Mhm. Okay, let's take a look at Birkenstock on your radar, Ken, BIRK, with earnings coming up a little over a week from now.
Yeah, we're still considering a call option here with the market in an uptrend and earnings coming next week. They're going to be reporting a day after Nvidia on Thursday, but really like the setup here. Here's a stock that has started to pause and digest some of those gains, holding above short-term moving averages. So we'll keep an eye on this one. They had a very positive response to earnings when they reported about 3 months ago. You can see how the stock gapped up, and then it formed as forming another base here. So um, as I do more work on the stock, I'm noticing more and more Birkenstocks out and around. I'm seeing people wearing more and more of them. I don't have a pair yet, but I think there's a potential for a nice quarter here. Huge acceleration in revenue when they reported earnings in the first quarter. You can see revenue up 49% compared to 26% growth in the prior quarter. So selling a lot of product here and in a good
Mhm.
technical setup. So we'll think about a call option here, and I think a call option worked pretty well the last time this company reported. So new issue, still in the early stages of a move here, it looks like.
All right. Thank you, Ken. And thanks everyone for tuning in. That is it from us for today. And we will be back with more tomorrow morning on IBD Live. So we hope you join us at investors.com/IBD Live for all the details there. We'll see you then. And then we'll also see you back here tomorrow after the close.